life goes for people who feel victimized.
Situation report. Not good, sir. We need to secure more territory. They're making us pay every minute we're in this.
Welcome to the Killers Live Red Pill Productions. Today is marked new infamy in the attack on the free man. A young man who talks about his experience in life protected by the First Amendment, had his house raided, and his channel completely nuked. Or I would say his videos. His channel, they know he'll just make another one. And for the information he puts out, I implore him to. Because if it wasn't for brave men like him, brave young men, to understand what it is to be an American, we would be losing way more men. And that's what the feminazis are upset about, because not enough men are lashing out, because that's not really what stable men are about, acting irrationally. And then the next week, Trump gets raided by the same institution over free speech. Over free speech. Anyone who believes that females deserve the right to vote, and if you don't agree with it, you deserve to be raided by the Department of Justice, just goes to show that this lie of democracy being American is
but there's a long way to go.
Literally modern day fascism. So in my two eyes, I see Biden as Hitler. I see Kamala Harris as Mussolini. And the whole world waiting for their opportunity to tear us down. But see, here's the thing about that. Because when you dig deeper, just like when the Taliban told America, you feminists may have all the weapons in the world, but patriarchy has all the time in the world. And I would say that's true highly, because it's what it is. There's nothing else to be said about it.
Sentry ready.
But evil people, the same people who say America, but yet aim to abridge, and that's what it is, abridging your right to protect yourself, because the government and their feminazi cognitive dissonance drives people to commit such acts. Still doesn't nearly touch the amount of people who die at the hands of communists. Or, you know, even better, I would have to say, at the hand of patriarchy. Because they're too weak. And since, you know, we all know America was patriarchy, and I say fact was. These feminazis, they think they're above America, and that's tyranny. And I had a wonderful history teacher that reminded us that America was not a democracy, because the whole world knows that after democracy comes totalitarianism, which gets transcended right back into fascism and communism, Marxism, everything that divides people. But at the same time, America, Democrats would have you believe that guns are killing people faster than the rates of fascism or communism or Marxism. But when you really look at the numbers, we don't have hundreds of millions of people dying. We have a few people who understand they've been treated unfairly, understand there's no winning against the system, and they just don't want to deal with it. And if they have to take out as many people as they will, they will. Because as Jordan Peterson said, and this is why the feminazis don't like him, because the feminazis are too busy creating docile men, thinking that they'll be able to control them. But in actuality, they use these docile men to further their agendas. Because we don't see alpha men out there crying, killing people because life is hard.
The Russians are at half strength.
Alphas understand there's a problem, they go and fix it. But feminists want you to believe that's toxic masculinity.
We've captured all of Sector Charlie.
So bettering yourself, questioning everything, speaking your mind, is a very short time away
Message received.
from being removed because of single motherhood. You have all these, 50% of the boys shrouded in 84% of toxic femininity. These women mad because they listen to feminists, and now they don't get that high value man that wants a family, wants to settle down, because they chose to listen to Kool-Aid drinkers or Kool-Aid suppliers, you know, that feel-good juice suppliers, over the raw facts of life. And it's an unfortunate situation, guys, we face here in America. And as we see, every day we hear another country pulling away from America, changing the currency they use. And y'all still want to believe that Democrats are pro-America? It is comedy. We are probably in the greatest depression. Not recession. Depression. So why do the feminazi Democrats cry about changing the definitions to fit their narrative? Because that's what evil people do. That's what narcissists, sociopathical, everything that feminists encumber. Entitlement, haughtiness, self-righteousness, everything that the book of life, the basic instructions before leaving Earth was left here for us, says to steer against. Now, if life didn't show me the Bible was true, then I couldn't speak on it. But because I questioned everything from the time I was in school as a very young child, refused to listen to my teachers who had no respect and used fear to gain power over me, I find it funny. I find it highly hilarious because they couldn't answer my questions. Instead, they call the police on me. Send me to the principal's office. The police come in and ask me who taught me this and how do I know this and where are my sources. And I told them, prove me wrong. And every time, it all goes back because men sexually violate women. Well, I mean, the last I checked, we have laws against that. So, you know, and I find it funny as I grow up when girls tell me they fantasize about being raped and girls want to lose their virginity to being raped. I find that highly alarming. And I hope no man ever falls for the snare of those ladies. Because good luck, dude. Good luck. Those women, they should be locked up for even having those thoughts. If me talking about the reality of females is misogyny, and they want to make misogyny a hate crime because anything that doesn't make a woman feel good is misogyny. Anything that doesn't cater to a woman's whims of emotions is misogyny.
Russians are attacking one of our objectives.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I find it funny how women will admit to what I'm saying is the truth, but men, beta men, especially the ones that think they Chad, especially the ones that think they Chad, they think they Chad.
Russians have sector Alpha.
But the women know they're not. The women know they are not. Alpha is a mind state, and that's it. Mind state of action, consistent, committed, repetitious action, no matter the cost, their life or not. America is a constitutional republic that values components of democracy. But America is not a democracy, and it'll never be a democracy. It will eat itself alive before it ever becomes a democracy. Because, as I stated earlier, after democracy comes totalitarianism, autocratic society, just as bad as Hitler's. And this is all thanks to feminism. So since the roles reversed, the only people that can save the land of America are women. And
if we don't stop them, they'll take every
they
sector.
have no idea how many men,
Enemy has secured an
how
objective.
many men are fed up and will not defend this country.
Their forces
We
are
all will
dwindling.
laugh as we watch it burn. As all the women cry out in agony
Our troops are
because
moving on Bravo 2.
we don't care. Why would we care? It's toxic masculinity. It's misogyny. Why would we? How about those females train harder and go out and fight for the causes and crises they allow their corrupt leaders to cause?
Take some ammo!
I'll tell you why.
We have them just where we
Because
want
they
them.
don't really
Hold that
mean
territory.
what they say.
Troops and material
What they
are almost
do.
gone.
They have no idea. There is no basis of knowledge or statistics that prove America's on a good path. Because in all reality, every time a Democrat gets into office, the whole world gets messed up. And now we're in the modern age.
Troops have captured Sector Charlie.
America can't even keep up with China's missiles because they're too worried about what color we should paint flags and who's the he, who's the she, who's gonna bend the knee, who's gonna take forced jabs to protect us. You know, we gotta be in our feelings about this, guys. Forget the other guys with guns, because if we don't get this settled here, we have nothing. Cool. I am perfectly okay with that. I am absolutely 100% okay with that. We shall have nothing. And just as their motto goes, you will own nothing. Now, this is the Democrats I'm talking about. The feminazi Democrats that are selling out the American dream to benefit their pocket. Because where's all this money going that inflation has caused? I mean, countries have every reason to print more money. You know, it's not a gas problem. It's a scarcity problem. And right now, yeah, for a large part of, mass of this world, gas is becoming scarce. And gas is what a lot of people use to transport goods. But since Trump entered office, gas went down, stocks grew, GDP rose.
Yes, time for action.
But with Biden, exact opposite. GDP falls, all-time highest unemployment. But yet they wanted to cry about 500,000 jobs. And I guarantee you, out of that 500,000, I would say close to 2/3, 3/4 of those 500,000 jobs were females. Because the red tsunami isn't just about politics. It's about the awakening of men and making better decisions for themselves. See, but here's the thing. For a man to achieve this sooner in life, it takes a father to be there to show a young man how to overcome hardship. A woman isn't gonna do that. A woman's gonna candor, manipulate, gaslight, abuse, sexually abuse, physically abuse, mentally abuse, emotionally abuse their children just so they can feel in control. Not doing things because it's the right way.
Around a ship recycling facility in along India.
But
and now one of our subs is tracking a substantial
how could
Russian
they?
naval force converging on it.
I mean, we just watched a Supreme Court justice that couldn't even define a woman. Yeah, couldn't even define a woman. This is the world we live in, guys. You know, as for this gentleman who got raided, I always knew one of these days it would happen to him. Just how I know that all the BS that Trump went through is all witch hunts.
Control sector Charlie.
That whole Harlem witch trials, that was all due to Democrats.
4 sectors falling to the Russians. They're nearing complete
That
control.
was all due to Democrats trying to gain power over weak-minded people via cognitive dissonance. And for those of you who do not understand that word, just like many females are just learning what hypergamy is, and which is interesting because I paid attention in sex ed, social studies, and none of those classes ever taught me what hypergamy was. Why?
Get to the farm.
Because they would come to realize, just like me,
Oh, not now,
that the term gold digger exists because that's what hypergamy is.
We've lost control of an objective.
A female only wants to deal with you for how much money she can get from you. And understand what I said there, guys. I said female. Because not all females allow their hypergamy to go unchecked. And the ones that check their hypergamy, they live the happiest lives, taking care of children, great-grandchildren, nieces, nephews. Those ones who the feminists envy, because the real evilest feminazi out there truly hate men because they can never be a man. And like I said earlier, anything that doesn't appease a female's emotion is considered misogyny. But it's pretty interesting how that works in America.
Only a few sectors remain unsecure.
Feminism is fighting sexism with sexism,
Russian attack at
and
one of our objectives.
BLM is fighting racism with racism. So, and those are all leftist groups.
We have control of Bravo 2.
Threat neutralized! Granada! Good. Sentry ready.
One of our objectives has been lost. Attackers of Bravo 2, we're losing it! Give me a sit rep. Enemies disorganized. Need to consolidate gains and hold the sector.
Dude, how does this guy even see me? And it's going to be a very interesting winter. And I find it funny how bad, just like the media did to Trump, the media needs me to believe that Putin is losing. Why would they need me to believe that as an American? Because America is funding the war along with the rest of the democratic countries out there.
Enemy forces control sector.
And
Bravo 2 is under siege.
if we realized that we were just wasting money, we would revolt and start pushing impeachment for gross neglect of taxpayer funds.
Troop by troop, they're paying a price. Keep it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's important for them to make it seem like Russia is losing. But Russia's destroyed most of the HIMARS sent there. Be right back, 30 seconds.
Allied troops targeting Bravo 1.
Destroying those HIMARS left and right. So the United States would only allow you to believe they sent 18 when America doesn't even have that much. But I mean, we all watch Sons of Anarchy. I'm pretty sure most of y'all watch Sons of Anarchy, and they definitely go into what a proxy war is, and that's exactly what America is doing. America has done for a long time, and many other countries. But the thing is, you know, these Democrats just don't know when to stop. And Putin stay warning Ukraine, but because all those people on that hemlock, well, now you found out what the hemlock got you. Just like the rest of Europe is rioting and protesting like Putin cares, like Putin's gonna change his mind. But that's the bias of the media. A real individual understands that those people are rioting against their leaders. They're not rioting against
They're
Putin.
chipping away at our forces.
The media is using the presence of those people, just like Democrats use protests of people standing up for America to call them racist. Yeah. And that's the ugly truth. Man, you know what? You feminazis deserve everything you receive for poking the bear. And the bear's alive and well. The bear ain't wounded, the bear ain't trapped. The bear can't be contained.
Sector Alpha has been secured.
And any time now, this whole world will be annihilated. The whole world. But all I have to say, one of the fattest red pills of this year is the Johnny Depp Amber Turd case. And I find it funny how, because she is so invested in the Kool-Aid, she still can't stop defaming Johnny Depp, and she's getting sued again. I mean, I thought females are supposed to be smart. If you already got sued and being charged $8 million, why would you keep talking about something that landed you in that place in the first place? Because she believes she's a victim because everybody tells her she is when she's not. She's a narcissist. She doesn't respect the rule of law. She falsifies evidence. She lies to juries. She tries to emotionally manipulate juries.
Hostiles attacking objective Charlie 1.
And then she wants to get mad when those people are like, no, you're wrong. Bye-bye. Just like a feminazi narcissist psychopath does. And so many men are now on the same page because of her treachery, her abuse of power.
The Russians are at half strength.
And it's the Nazism that does it. And if it wasn't for John having such a decent
Allies attacking now.
lawyer,
We no longer occupy Bravo 2.
and surprisingly, it was a female.
We got Sector Bravo.
He would have won. He wouldn't have won. So what does that say about the average man that can't pay millions to defend himself against a false allegation? A lying, psychopathic, sociopathic, narcissistic, pathic person who believes their lies are true.
Allies engaging objective Bravo 3.
That's because females are the most corruptible entity to ever walk the face of this planet. Why do you think woman is spelled with 5 letters and man is spelled with 3? That's a very interesting question. That even in today's society, many people can't even get it. Who's the liars? Who's the deceivers? Feminists.
We have secured an objective. Allies engaging an objective Bravo 3.
Well, it's been a pleasure, guys. I hope y'all learned something. I hope y'all leave me a comment in the comment section letting me know something interesting you learned. And I would like a piece of information you think is beneficial to the knowledge of the individual that I may not have spoke on. And thank you for joining Killa's Live Red Bill Talk number 2. And maybe in time I shall do these a little more often.
Allies engaging an objective Bravo 3.
A little more organized, a little more thought out. But this is just raw thoughts coming into my mind and leaving my lips for all to bear. good or bad, better or worse, we shall achieve discourse.